Hi, I'm Kim, and this is my 2.5-acre property in Northern California, Olive City Oasis. And today's video is not about my 2.5 acres or my huge garden and all my orchards here. It is about one of my small space gardens, because you don't need 2.5 acres or even an acre or even a really big yard to grow lots of edible plants and some decorative plants too. You can do it all on just a back patio like I have. So let's go take a look. So stepping directly out my back door off of my laundry room, right in front of me, I have edibles. I've got all kinds of things growing here and over onto my nearby patio. You can see the garden back there, the chicken coop. But right here, I just counted, so I know, 20 different kinds of edibles. And I'm not counting varieties, just kinds. So let's take a look at them one by one and see how, wow, even in this little space, I can grow so much. And I have lots of room left over. I could add more. Here's my little sitting area. Those are some coffee plants getting a little bit of sun and a little decorative flower. All right, let's get going. We'll start right over on this end. This actually is not an edible. It was actually my mystery plant from a few videos ago. I think it was the vlog where I talked about the park fire. And one of my viewers let me know this is a 4 o'clock or Marvel of Peru flower. And it's actually looking a lot better now. But in with it, I've got some walking green onions and a red snacking pepper plant doing really well. Lots of blossoms and peppers on it. I've been harvesting regularly. This pot right here has 2 peppers that have just recently come up and already starting to blossom. And I've got a Jimmy Nardello, and the one back there is a tequila sunrise. So looking forward to having some peppers in the fall. Put in a little pretty bird bath here. I've already seen some birds bathing in it. Here I've got some green beans. Looks like there's a few on there to harvest. I haven't had great luck with green beans this year, but I'm finally starting to get some. Some more walking onions. Oh, if we're keeping track, we've got the green onions. We've got peppers. That's 2. We've got green beans. That's 3. We won't count green onions again. Here I've got, more walking onions, but also a satsuma, a Owari satsuma mandarin. Now, if you're not familiar, the Owari satsuma mandarin is a hybrid between a mandarin and a pomelo. So these things get huge. They're only 2 years old. Last year, I had a couple of huge ones, and they were so delicious, so sweet. They're known for being seedless, and their peel comes off real easily. Okay, so we've got peppers, green onions, green beans, and the Owari satsuma mandarin. That's 4. And I've got some snapdragons and some more green beans in here. And this is summer savory, so that's an herb, delicious in stews and stir fry. That's number 5. Got some lantana here. Oh, purple tree kale, looking gorgeous. That's 6. I won't count the decoratives. These are some Asiatic lilies I need to cut back. Uh-oh. You know what this is? Okay, this is a volunteer mulberry tree coming out of my patio. It's a female, and if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I'm going to chop it down, because I've got some very concerned viewers who think I don't know that this is bad to let this grow my patio. I actually do know that. I have some very huge mulberry trees on my property. Those are just 2. I have over a dozen huge ones. And I have some large fruiting ones too. And then I have volunteers. But usually the volunteers come up in pots. This is the first one I've had come up anywhere other than a pot. And I'm so excited to see fruit on it this year. And so I was teased in a couple of videos. I didn't want to cut it down. But of course I was going to. And I will. And you can watch me do it if you stay tuned to the end. Now, these are some Job's Tears that I grew And the first time, I wanted to make jewelry out of them. I was a little disappointed, first of all, in that they dry out so quickly. You can see here. So if you don't harvest them right away, you miss out on them. And then secondly, I didn't get all the colors I was hoping for. Although you can see here, I am starting to get some red ones. That's nice. So I may be able, if I get them off quickly enough, to make some jewelry yet. I won't count those though, because I'm not going to use them as grain. Now in this pot, I have got tomatillos going to flower. They're going to be producing soon. Back in that container back there, I've got some strawberries. And here, got some melon. Can we see them hiding? There's one. There's one. I feel like there's another one. Oh, yep. There's one. They'll get a little bigger. But they are personal-sized emerald gem melons. I have them growing all over. And they're delicious. They get about the size of a small to medium cantaloupe, and they taste better than a cantaloupe. Very, very sweet. Just so scrumptious. Here I've got some more green beans growing with a flower. And looky, you know what this is? Can you guess from the bark? The red bark. This is a strawberry tree. I grow arbutus trees, arbutus unidos and arbutus marinas. This one's a marina. Lots of new growth coming out. This is a newer plant to me. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put it in the ground like my other ones or leave it in a container. Thinking of leaving it in a container though. That way if I move, I can take it with me. And I am going to count this as an edible because I love taking the little round strawberry fruit balls and using them in smoothies. Plus, I often add them to rhubarb to make a great jam. So I've got some more red snacking peppers here. And that's a little paprika, loose shower paprika pepper I just put in there. And this one with all the blossoms and a few peppers on it right now is a Jimmy Nardello. I've already pulled 6 or 7 off of there. And this one is a Santa Fe Grande. And it's kind of an interesting pepper because it gives you yellow ones as well as orange and red. Now, I know most peppers will go from green to yellow to orange to red, but this one seems to be full of all the colors at the same time, all the time. It's really cool. And then back there, I've got another Jimmy Nardello coming up. So plenty of peppers in here. The sun came out for a minute. That's nice. But the sky is full of clouds, so I think it'll be disappearing soon. Boy, the bees are happy in there. Here on the outside, I have a little fig tree growing. That's because I planted a fig tree back in, it was June or July, in the middle of this bed. It's one of the only things planted in the bed. The fruit tree is, and this mint is. Oh boy, does this mint smell delicious. Anyway, I have this fig tree growing here. I've already taken several figs off of it, even though I just planted it from a cutting. I grew this summer. And so that's going really well. I expect it to get pretty tall over the next year or two, but I'm going to keep it at about 6 feet so I can easily harvest from it. And so we've got the mint here. Next to that, I've got some strawberries growing in here. I think I've lost track of counting. Here I've got green onions, Egyptian walking onions. So you can see, step off the step, and right in front of you, green onions, strawberries, mint for tea. That's a peppermint, by the way. Here I have another Owari Satsuma mandarin. Next to the strawberries, I have some cherry tomatoes growing. Already taken a ton off of them, and now they're going to fruit again. All the plants are kind of recovering from the intense heat we've had all summer. This area, though, my little back garden, stays in the shade till about 11 a.m. Gradually, from 10 to noon, it becomes more and more in the sun until the whole thing is in the sun. But so it has a few less hours than the main garden, and that has actually helped it do really well. But next to the strawberries and the cherry tomatoes, what is this monstrosity? It is butternut squash. You can see one developing there. It's actually growing out of that red crate there. I've got 2 butternut squash plants in there. And growing, I guess there were 3 things planted right in the bed. There's another trunk-like thing growing out there. That is my purple tree kale, which has mostly fallen down and is growing all over the place. I have no shortage of purple tree kale on this property, and I have no shortage of it right outside my back door. Anytime I want to stir fry, step outside, and I have all the purple tree kale I could desire. So yes, in the red crate, there are the butternut squash growing. They grow down and over. You can see more blossoms, and I think there are 3 or maybe 4 butternuts growing on this right now. And in this pot right here, I've got more walking onions and this lovely plant, which is going to be gorgeous very soon. It's a red Roselle Hibiscus, so more tea coming from that and jam. It makes amazingly delicious jam. Next to the red Roselle Hibiscus and the butternut squash. Oh, look, there's another red Roselle Hibiscus. Growing out of the bed. I guess there are a few things growing out of the bed I keep forgetting about. Now here, right next to that red Roselle Hibiscus, got another cherry tomato plant. And right next to it are zucchini. And I must have harvested at least 20 zucchini off of this plant so far. Well, actually, there's 2 plants in this grow bag. And next to that, I have an Armenian cucumber. And are there any cucumbers on it right now? Why, yes, there are. Growing very quickly. Got one right there. Probably be triple that size in 3 days. Let's count again. I've totally lost track. Okay, we have peppers and more peppers. But peppers is 1, green beans 2, green onions 3, owari satsuma mandarin 4, summer savory herb 5. We're not counting the Job's tears. Strawberries 6, and then we have tomatillo 7, emerald gem melon is 8. More green beans there. And then, arbutus marina, strawberry trees, 9. Purple tree kale, looking lovely, 10. Fig tree, and another fig tree in there, that's 12. Gorgeous, yummy mint for tea, that's 13. More strawberries, but we already counted them. More onions, but we already counted them. Butternut squash. That's 14, right? And then, red Roselle Hibiscus there on the right. That's, I lost track. Is that 16? I think it's 16. And then zucchini is 17. And cucumber, where is that cucumber? Right there it is. So that's 18? I think maybe I skipped one. Well, if I did, you can correct me in the comments. And then over here along the wall, I've got some turmeric growing. That's 19. And I actually have 6 or 7 other turmeric plants I'm going to transplant over here. Coming up as volunteers, I have a whole bunch of lettuce. That's because I did grow lettuce in here before, back in the spring. Now it's cooling off a bit. It's coming up again. I'm going to try to transplant some of that out. If I don't wait too long, it should work. That would be 20. And then I just yesterday planted some carrots in here. That's going to be 21. I think I miscounted because I think I only have 20 here. And then here in this empty crate, I was thinking of planting some broccolini, and that'll be 22. Of course, you can never have enough green onions, so I've got more of those here. Everything's looking so lush and green and healthy. And now with the temps being in the mid 90s instead of, 115, and with this little tiny rain we had promising fall is almost here, I am so much looking forward to enjoying this little patio garden. Got my little chair there to sit. And yeah, everything has been producing like crazy the last couple of weeks, been harvesting, and I know that's going to be even more so in the future. Not only have I been getting great veggies, got a lot of winter squash growing, and going to be having fruit in years to come if I stick around here. Otherwise, I'll take the fruit with me. But yeah, we've already had tons of strawberries. These are seascapes, so, they produce year-round, at least around here they do, in Zone 9B. The thing is, if you have your own small patio, it's so much more convenient for you to go out and harvest. That's the original reason I actually started this backdoor patio, was because my adult kids, my college kids who live here with me, they're they're not into gardening, and I don't blame them. It's not fun to go out in 110, 115 degree heat to harvest things out in the big garden. So I thought, well, if it's right out the back door, they'll probably go outside and grab their green onions and their cherry tomatoes. And it does make it more convenient for me to grab my purple tree kale for stir fries and melon for a nice little breakfast. And overall, it's just been great. It's worked out just like I thought it would. But the thing that I really love about it is that it lets you concentrate in a small area the fruits and vegetables that you use the most on a daily basis and lets you grow them to your heart's content. If I had an even smaller space, what I would do is use vertical gardening more. I would use a lot of trellises, and I would let things climb upwards. But since I have enough space to spread it out, that's what I've done here. But even so, it's much smaller than my 2.5 acres, isn't it? Also, I have really enjoyed having the containers on the top of the raised bed over there. That raised bed is super old, and it was actually the second bed that I put in here. And the helper, the guy who built it for me, he put in a bunch of native soil. Probably 3/4 native soil, which is, hard clay. And so it doesn't grow some things very well. Other things don't seem to have a problem with it. But yeah, some things just don't grow in there. But putting containers on top of it has worked wonderful because I don't have to bend over as far to work and to harvest. So I've really enjoyed making use of that space because it was sort of just sitting there, other than the mint, not being used. So I really encourage you, plant your own back patio garden, your own front porch garden. Plant what you love to grow, what you love to eat. Let it be your guide and enjoy the benefits of growing in a very small space, because it's not only possible, it's not only convenient, it works really well, and it's so rewarding. But now we're going to do what I promised you we're going to do, what I told you. I've been telling you for probably 2 months I'm going to do. Going to cut down that volunteer mulberry. First, I'm going to take a few cuttings so that I can propagate this female mulberry tree. I'm not going to be too precious about this because I can always trim them up later. Decide what I'm going to keep later. So just taking off some branches. Alright guys, I don't have to worry about it growing anymore. And it probably will shoot up a little sprout or 2 or 12, but I'll just chop them off. My sheep will enjoy eating those. The tree is no more. Everyone can breathe easy now. And lots of little possible propagating mulberry branches here. That'll be fun too. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you got some ideas for plants you can grow on your back patio or your balcony or porch. Anywhere you have a little bit of space, you can grow edibles and flowers and have, the enjoyment, the peace and relaxation, and the rewards that come from growing a garden, even in a small space. So have a great week, happy growing, and I'll see you again really soon, I hope.